Music. Philippine Navy officials visiting Japan have just completed an inspection of a Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force destroyer escort. Amid rising tensions in the West Philippine Sea, a quiet yet significant development has emerged. The Philippine Navy has carried out its joint visual assessment of one of Japan's Abukuma-Class destroyer escorts, a strong indication that Manila may be ready to take a major step in expanding its naval capabilities. But the real questions begin here. If the Philippines accepts these warships, how will they be categorized? What names will they carry? And most importantly, what mission will they fulfill under Horizon 3? Tonight, we unpack everything. Welcome back to Pinoy Guard, your source for deep analysis on the Philippine military, regional tensions, and global defense affairs. I am your defense analyst, and today we will break down the potential transfer of Japan's Abukuma-Class destroyer escorts to the Philippine Navy. This story goes beyond the ships themselves. It touches on classification, identity, and naval doctrine, decisions that will shape how these vessels merge into our modernization plans and how they stand against China's expanding maritime influence. Stay with me, because what we're about to explore could shape the next era of Philippine naval development. Before we continue, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more content on AFP modernization. Let's begin with history. The Abukuma-Class destroyer escorts were launched by Japan in the late 1980s to early 1990s, during the final stretch of the Cold War. Their primary mission: anti-submarine warfare. Each displacement sits around 2,000 tons standard and over 2,500 tons when fully loaded. They carried sonar, torpedoes, depth charges, a 76mm gun, and basic anti-air defenses. At the time, they were essential escorts guarding larger Japanese destroyers from Soviet submarines. 4 decades later, they remain seaworthy, but technology has rapidly moved forward. Japan is phasing them out as it adopts newer classes such as the Mogami-class multi-mission frigates. This is where the Philippines enters the picture. Earlier this month, a Philippine Navy delegation conducted a joint visual inspection of JS Jintsu D-230 at Sasebo Naval Base in Nagasaki. Jintsu served as the reference unit for the entire 6-ship class. The goal of the visit was simple: determine whether these ships remain viable for Philippine waters and operational needs. Preliminary results, reported by Max Defense Philippines, are promising. The Navy believes the vessels are still dependable platforms for patrolling vast waters, asserting the flag, and projecting presence in contested territories. But this inspection is only the start. A full evaluation must still be submitted to Navy headquarters, the AFP General Staff, and the Department of National Defense. Now we arrive at the complex question: if the Philippines brings the Abukuma-Class into service, how will they be classified? Let's review the Navy's system. Frigates, 2,000 to 5,000 tons, corvettes, 700 to 2,000 tons. The term destroyer escort is no longer used, though historically, the PN once operated World War II-era destroyer escorts. The Abukuma-Class sits right on the border. At 2,000 tons standard, they qualify as frigates, and their fully loaded displacement reinforces that classification. However, tonnage alone doesn't determine classification. The Del Pilar class, former Hamilton-class cutters, are larger at 3,200 tons, yet were downgraded to patrol vessels for years due to lacking advanced sensors and missiles. Similarly, the Raja Humabon class weighed more than the Abukumas but were categorized differently due to limited combat capability. So what happens now? Given displacement and capability, it is likely the Abukuma class will be designated as frigates. Their anti-submarine heritage gives them more combat credibility than older PN patrol ships. And classification matters. Labeling them frigates elevates their strategic and symbolic importance, showing that the Navy is enhancing its fleet with legitimate surface combatants, not simply inheriting outdated assets. Music. Now, the second major issue: what names will these ships receive? Traditionally, Frigates and corvettes are named after national heroes. Larger auxiliaries carry geographic names. There are exceptions. BRP Ramon Alcaraz and BRP Conrado Yap honor naval war heroes. However, naming gets complicated because the Philippine Coast Guard already uses hero names like Gabriela Salang and Melchor Aquino. BFAR also uses hero names, narrowing the pool further. Possible solutions: use less mainstream revolutionary heroes. Use naval-specific heroes, such as Captain Jose Andrade, CMDR, Felix Apolinario, or Commodore Alcaraz. Begin a new naming convention, provinces with maritime heritage or seas and straits.